Test 1 2. Checking audio. Test 1 2. Testing audio. Check 1 2.
Counselor Tour, can we check your mic?
Good morning, mic check. Are you able to hear me? Good morning. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, call to order. As we begin today's meeting, we would like to acknowledge that we are gathering here today on the traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit, Haudenosaunee, and Wendat nations, who have called this land home since time immemorial. We recognize the Mississaugas of the Credit as original rights holders and the signatories of Treaty 19th Legitimacy Purchase of 1818, and that the agreements made therein are foundational to our nation-to-nation relationship. As a city, we are committed to our ongoing role in reconciliation through meaningful action, rooted in truth, justice, and respect. We are grateful to the original caretakers of this land who have ensured we are able to work, play, and live in Brampton now and in the future. Please all rise for the singing of our national anthem, to be followed by a moment of personal reflection.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for stand on guard for
Okay, moving on to approval of the agenda. First, we'll ask the clerk to update us about any changes.
Through you, Chair, the following changes have been made on revised agendas. 7.1, delegations were added regarding the staff update for Committee of Council delegations. 8.1, staff update, government relations matters, the presentation has been published. 18.2, a bylaw to amend the sign bylaw has been revised and published. 18.12, amend election sign bylaw, the revised bylaw has been published. And 18.14, housekeeping amendment, the bylaw has been published for the bylaw to approve the approval to expropriate downtown Brampton floodplain project.
Thank you. And do any other members have any items they wish to add? I see we'll start with Councillor Keenan.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. So I'd like to add an announcement for the Brampton Summer Artist Market. It'll be done by Michael Vickers from the BAO. At this time, Mr. Chair, I'd also like to defer item 12.1 and defer 19.1, the Audit Committee meeting minutes. I was meant to push it to the next meeting, and I just got my dates mixed up.
Sure. Item 12.1 and
19.1.
19.1. Okay. And your announcement will be 6.4. Thank you. Moving on, we have Councillor Brar.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, I want to add a discussion item regarding Mount Pleasant parking. Thank you.
Mount Pleasant parking. Okay. To the clerk, would that be item 16.2?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, moving on, we have Councillor Vicente.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. I'd like to add a discussion item in regards to Flowertown and always stop request. Thank you.
Okay, I'm assuming that would be item 16.3? I don't see, oh, I see Councillor Tour online.
Thank you, through you, Deputy Mayor, saying, sorry if I missed this part. I just got disconnected for a little bit, but I'd like to add two items to today's agenda. One is a notice of motion that I had emailed Madam Clerk regarding traffic signals at certain intersections. And there's also another announcement for the Brampton Summer Artist Market from the Brampton Arts Organization. And perhaps if I can, I'm already sponsoring an announcement, but perhaps if another councillor would like to sponsor that.
So if I could add some clarity, and Councillor Tour, let me know if you're okay with this. So Councillor Keenan already added that Brampton Summer Artist Market at 6.4. And the motion you want to add, you don't need to add as a separate discussion item. There's already agenda item that's relevant, and we were going to bring it there because it had to do with DCs.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
So we're not adding any of the items, and we'll bring the motion when the appropriate time. No, well, we're gonna bring that when there's an item related to that, and we'll bring that then, and then he can move it. Councillor Pleshy wants to speak to that as well. Okay. Out of courtesy, I'll add it, and it's a catwalk. I see it on here too, so she must have emailed maintenance of city catwalk, so we'll do that as 16.4. Sure, we'll add 6.1 proclamation for Caribbean Heritage Month as well. I'll move both of those. Okay. We have a motion moved by Councillor Powers and seconded by Councillor Fertini to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor? Motion carries. Declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Does any member have a declaration of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act for any matter to be considered on today's agenda? Councillor Keenan.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. An abundance of caution, I'm going to declare conflict of interest on 19.4. Reason being a former family business was in litigation with the same insurance company.
Sure. Sounds good. That is so noted. Adoption of the minutes. We have the following city council minutes before us today. 4.1 minutes, city council, June 24th, 2026. Does any member have any questions? I have a motion moved by Councillor Keenan and seconded by Councillor Pleshy to approve the minutes as published and circulated. All in favor? Motion carries. Before moving on to the consent, I do want to acknowledge Councillor Tour, Mayor Brown, and Councillor Santos were on the way and are on the way, and they were away for the opening of the Lululemon warehouse, which is the largest warehouse Lululemon has made in North America, bringing 1,500 jobs towards 9 and 10. So thank you, Councillor Santos, Mayor Brown, and Councillor Tour will be here for doing the opening. We'll pass it on to Mayor Brown to move the consent motion.
And I should note, Councillor Deputy Mayor Singh, they had a rule no one could wear a suit at the Lululemon opening, even bigger than their LA facility. Another exciting day for Brampton. We're on the consent motion now. So I'll read out the items and let us know if you want to put it into consent. 8.1 Government Relations Matters. 10.21 Staff Report, Proposed Open House Sign Bylaw. 10.22 Staff Report, Update regarding the Committee of Council Delegations. 10.23 Staff Report, Election Sign Bylaw Amendments. 10.24 Staff Report, Owner Consent to City Deregistering Block 252, Plan 43M 1958. 10.31 Staff Report, 2025 Public Sector Network. 10.41 staff report, supplementary recommendation report, application to amend the zoning bylaw. 10.42 staff report, window wells and path of travel for additional residential units. 10.43 staff report, walkability criteria to inform reduced setbacks within Heritage Heights secondary plan. 10.61 staff report.
10.42, huh?
Sorry, we couldn't hear that.
10.4.2?
I held it.
Mayor Brown, could you hold 10.4.2?
Yes, that was held by the deputy mayor.
Thank you.
10.61 staff report, budget amendment, Century Gardens Youth Hub, FCM Green Municipal Funding. At 12.1 minutes, audit committee. Deferred, okay. 12.2 minutes, planning and development committee. 12.3 minutes, committee of council. 14.1 correspondence, Corey Butler, request for development charge relief. 15.1 notice of motion that's being held for a fuel cost adjustment. 15.2 motion reacceptance of charitable request estate of Isabel Agnes Brown. Help orphan pets in emergencies. 15.3 notice of motion downtown temporary patio extension grant program. 16.1 referred matters list. We deferred the closed minutes. Hold 14.1. 19.2 minutes, City Council, June 24th. 19.3 corporate project updates. Center for Innovation, Heritage Theater, and City Lands. 19.4 litigation update, Recreation Center. 19.5 agreement, purchase of sale, 5272 Countryside Drive. 19.6 planning for employment, delivering complete communities for 2051 and beyond. Okay. We have the consent motion. The clerk want to recap it?
To you, Mayor Brown. The following items are included on the consent motion. 8.1, Government Relations Matters. 10.2.3, Election Sign Bylaw Amendments. 10.2.4, Owner Consent to City Deregistering of Block 252, Plan 43M1958. 10.3.1, Staff Report 2025 Public Sector Network, Update and Budget. 10.4.1, Staff Report Supplementary Recommendation Report. 10.4.3, Staff Report Walkability Criteria to Inform Reduced Setbacks. 15.2, Notice of Motion Acceptance of a Charitable Bequest. 15.3, Notice of Motion Downtown Temporary Patio Extension Grant. 16.1, Referred Matters. 19.2, Closed Minutes of City Council, June 24th. 19.3, Closed Corporate Project Updates. And 19.5, Closed Agreement of Purchase and Sale for 5272 Countryside Drive.
Perfect. We have a motion by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Power to approve the consent motion. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to announcements, and we have three announcements today or three proclamations. And the first is the Royal Canadian Legion Day. We got an exciting 100th anniversary coming up, and I know Councillor Keenan wanted the joy and privilege of reading this proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas across Canada, the Royal Canadian Legion celebrates its 100th anniversary. In Brampton, we recognize a significant milestone because we have two long-standing branches in our city, Branch 15 and Branch 609. We also acknowledge the 100th anniversary of our local Legion Branch 15, which also celebrates its century this year. Branch 15 of Brampton has always had veterans and their families as a major focus. The branch has a history that is actually older than 100 years. Before them was the Great War Veterans Association, which later became the Royal Canadian Legion we know today. Brampton's Branch 15 is named after Major William Dwight Sharp. Major Sharp was a veteran of World War I, a doctor, and a town councillor. He also served as a national president of the Great War Veterans Association and was instrumental in forming the Legion. He has a street, a park, and a Legion named after him in Brampton. What needs to be understood is that the veteran community in Brampton is growing, and so are the effects on the families. Therefore, recently, 2 members of the Canadian Armed Forces have paid the ultimate sacrifice in the last 12 months. And there are approximately 15 to 25 members of the Brampton community currently serving in a hot zone, with more being deployed in 2027. Therefore, I, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of Brampton City Council, do hereby proclaim July 22nd, 2026 as Royal Canadian Legion Day in the city of Brampton, in recognition of the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Legion and Brampton's Major William Dwight Sharp, Legion Branch 15.
And I know we have members of the branch here that may want to respond to the proclamation. And by the way, they had a great Canada Day party on July 1st.
Yeah, we did. And thank you, Mayor, for attending our Canada Day party. And we have representatives here from Branch 15 and Branch 609 is also here. We thank you for the proclamation. We thank you for the continued support that we have received, not just in the last 8 years, but the last 100 years. The Legion was formed 100 years ago because there was a need to look after veterans. Unfortunately, there continues to be a need to look after veterans, so we'll be around for another 100 years. Thank you very much, City of Brampton.
And we'll have a proclamation to present to you when we finish the announcements, when we do some group photos. Our next proclamation is Bill Davis Day. I can read this one out. The Honourable William Grenville Bill Davis, 18th Premier of Ontario, was born on this day in 1929. A lifelong and passionate resident of Brampton, Mr. Davis served as Premier for a total of 13 years, from 1971 to 1985, making him one of the longest-serving Premiers in Ontario history. As Premier, Mr. Davis created Ontario's first ever Ministry of the Environment. He also oversaw the expansion of the Ontario Human Rights Code, as well as the province's public health and education sectors. Mr. Davis also played a significant role in patriating the Canadian Constitution from the United Kingdom, adding to it a Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which paved the way for the passing of the Constitution Act in 1982. Prior to his term as Premier, Mr. Davis served as the Minister of University Affairs as well as Minister of Education. In addition to greatly expanding public funding for education in Ontario, Mr. Davis established several new institutions, including a number of Ontario universities, the province's community college system, and the Educational Network TVO. Mr. Davis also served as a member of the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, representing Peel North from 1967 to 1975, and Peel from 1959 to 1967. Throughout his life, Mr. Davis has been a recipient of many awards and honors. He was invested in the Companion of the Order of Canada in 1986, was appointed to the Order of Ontario in 1987. In November 2019, Mr. Davis was presented with Brampton's Key to the City, a symbolic honor that a municipality bestows on highly valued members of the community who have made a significant impact on the lives of residents. Mr. Davis, affectionately known as Brampton Billy, was one of our most beloved residents in Brampton, Ontario's most successful Premier, and the definition of decency. His legacy is one of profound accomplishment. And I would note, each year on Mr. Davis's birthday, even though he's no longer with us, we have a proclamation and a video that we do with corporate communications, just remembering what he meant to our city, to our province, and to our country. I don't see members of his family here, but we'll make sure this proclamation is shared with them. Our next proclamation, and I wasn't here when we were adding this. I know there's a request to add Caribbean Heritage Month. Did we do so? Yes. Great, wonderful. Councillor Pleshy requested the pleasure of reading out Caribbean Heritage Month.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Caribbean Heritage Month in Brampton is a fitting way to acknowledge people from the Caribbean who have arrived in Canada since the 1700s. The most recent data from Stats Canada 2021 census states that approximately 1.6 million people of the Caribbean origin live in Canada, many of whom call Brampton home. Many Canadians of Caribbean origin or background have significantly contributed to the success and enrichment of Canada's economic, social, political, and cultural fabric. Canada is home to the Toronto Caribbean Carnival, formerly known as Caribana, the largest festival of its kind in Canada. The festival was inaugurated more than 50 years ago. It showcases and promotes the culture and contributions of Canadians of Caribbean origin and has established a significant presence in the culture, economic landscape of Canada, including Brampton. This year, Senator Paulette Sr. introduced Bill S-248, 45-1, an act respecting Caribbean Heritage Month in the Senate of Canada. It has passed second reading and is on its way to being recognized across the country. This is Brampton's opportunity to show its leadership by acknowledging it now. With July 6th being CARICOM Day, it is a fitting tribute to the entire Caribbean Canadian diaspora to recognize July as Caribbean Heritage Month and officially be added to the caretakers of the culture's official calendar of dates of significance. On behalf of Mayor Brown, City Council do hereby proclaim July 2026 as Caribbean Heritage Month in the City of Brampton.
Thank you, Councillor Pleshy. Do we have a representative? Great, to respond to the proclamation.
Good morning. I'd like to just start off by thanking all of our servicemen here and women, obviously, for the 100 years centennial. It's a great honor for us to share this space with you. And thank you, City Council, of course, Honorable Patrick Brown, for extending this great honor. Your leadership, Brampton, among the municipalities of our country, continue to be celebrated, to actually extend this great honor of recognition to the Caribbean members of our Canadian society is a great honor, and to share it with the Somalian community, with July being recognized as Somali month, as Heritage Month, the connection between the African and the Caribbean community should never be lost. We do accept this proclamation on behalf of the indigenous communities of the Caribbean, from the Taino to the Caribs to the Maroons to the generations that have come before us that have paved the way, such as the Honorable Jean Augustine and Dudley Laws, on behalf even the Rastafarian community that not only wore their Caribbean heritage on their sleeve, but their heritage on their head, introducing this world to our world. And so we thank them for their sacrifice. You mentioned the CARICOM Day, and we did get word from the Consul General of Grenada, who wanted to express his immense pleasure and pride and applaud the City of Brampton for proclaiming this month of July as Caribbean Heritage Month. And we also acknowledge the fact that the Senator Senior was mentioned, and we do accept this on behalf of her advocacy in the Senate to make this a federal holiday, and the organizations on the ground like the Indo-Caribbean Association and many others who have mobilized the country to make this a federal acknowledgement. So in conclusion, we want to send this out with a little bit of Caribbean vibes. Everyone know One Love by Bob Marley. We got 45 seconds of One Love. We're going to actually not only play it, but we're going to actually bring the Caribbean's contribution to the instrument world, the steel pan. We have one of the specialists of the whole world, Suzette Vidal, who is going to play One Love. And in honor of the One Love movement, we're happy to have with us our very own One Love Jubilee Ambassador, Liberty Silver, who's also the Emancipation Month Queen of Canada. And we're going to invite Miss Trinidad and Tobago. Please come join us as we sing One Love and spread this One Love around Canada, all coming from Brampton. All right, are we ready? All right, Suzette Vidal, are you ready? One Love. Liberty Silver, the microphone.
One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
Good. Okay, if you sit tight, we'll have a photo with the proclamation once we finish announcements. Our next announcement is Gabriel Corza, Marketing Programmer, Brampton Entrepreneur Center. This is sponsored by Councillor Santos. Please come forward to the podium. You have 2 minutes. Sorry.
Good morning, members of council, mayor, and established public. My name is Gabe Carroza, and I'm here with Amrita Sangera today to present the 2026 Beck Summer Youth Market. The event is scheduled to take place on August 22nd, 2026 at the Brampton Entrepreneur Center and Co-working Space. After the success of this event last year, we have made this an annual opportunity for Brampton-based entrepreneurs under the age of 30 to connect their business with the community. Slide, please.
Thank you. This market will take place during the Brampton Farmers Market and is being organized by the City of Brampton's Economic Development Office in collaboration with Brampton Recreation, the Brampton Arts Organization, and the Brampton Honey Badgers and our Innovation District partners. The event will include open space for networking, community raffle prizes, and youth programming from guest speakers and industry professionals. Our goal is to empower Brampton youth by providing them with the opportunity to build brand awareness and gain hands-on vending experience amongst key entrepreneurship pillars within the small business community.
We hope to receive the council's support in spreading the word, and we invite you to join if your schedule permits. The application for vendors is open until July 27th and can be found on our social media at Brampton BEC or at our website, brampton.ca/BEC. We're happy to answer any additional questions, and thank you for your time and continued support to the community.
Thank you. Our next announcement is the Brampton Starter Company Plus information session. This is sponsored by Councillor Tour. Daniel Bishan, Business Advisor, Brampton Entrepreneur Center. You have 2 minutes for the announcement.
Good morning, Mayor, members of council, senior leadership, colleagues, and city staff. My name is Daniel Bishan, and on behalf of the Brampton Entrepreneur Center, I'm pleased to provide an update of the 2026 Starter Company Plus program. This year, our focus is helping on Brampton entrepreneurs, including the arts-based businesses and businesses that are looking to accelerate and grow within our community. Next slide, please. Starter Company supports individuals 18 years and older who are expanding or purchasing a business in Brampton. The program helps entrepreneurs build foundational through training, mentorship, business planning, financial readiness, market readiness, and growth strategies. Last year, we had about 180 individuals participate in the training, showing a strong demand of entrepreneurship support here in Brampton. Next slide, please. Participants receive business development training, mentorship, and the opportunity to apply for a $5,000 grant after completion of the mandatory program requirements. In 2025, we provided $175,000 in direct grants to 35 businesses locally. Approximately 90% of those businesses were within our BIPOC community. Estimation of the economic impact of that was roughly $300,000, created about 14 to 15 jobs within our community from those 35 businesses. Next slide. In 2026 intake, we are excited to announce a new art stream. The program will be delivered through 2 pathways, a general stream led by the Entrepreneur Center, focusing on traditional retail businesses and startups within our community, and in art streams that will be delivered in partnership with the Brampton Arts Organization, supported by the Creative Business Lab, providing art-focused training, mentorship, and sector-specific for our creatives. Our first information session is actually tomorrow, July 6th, and we have 2 more throughout the summer, July 16th to 26th. Our applications will be opening on August 10th and will be closed on September 11th. And the program will start in early October. Sorry, next slide. Next slide. So if anyone that's interested in the program, I threw up a QR code that you can scan to be a part of the information sessions. And I asked the mayor and council, please watch their social media. Our team will be tagging you if you can share it to the community through your channels. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for your great work.
No problem.
Our next announcement is Brampton Rising Stars. The council sponsor for this is Regional Councillor Brar, and we have the wonderful Reverend Blessing Ejaya. Please come forward to the podium. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to stand here today to update and announce the upcoming season 3 of Brampton Rising Star. The theme this year is Breaking Talent Without Border. I want to say that Brampton Rising Star season 3 is a multicultural youth talent show featuring contestants and Ontarians beyond. And we are excited to showcase Brampton as a talent city, diversity, creativity, locally, nationally, and internationally. And Brampton, with auditions that we have completed, want to say that we are looking forward for the semi-final on July 26th and the grand finale on the 29th of August at the Rose Theatre. I want to say that I'm very grateful for carrying this initiative. Bringing Brampton to a place where families and many people in different cities has now identified Brampton as a city that embraces diversity and inclusion. I want to thank the mayor, the members of the council. I want to thank my councillor, Councillor Bra, who has been leading forward for this, and also the supporters, partners, families, and volunteers who have continually supported us. And we invite everybody to join us again for this season. And we look forward to see everyone. Please, the ticket is available at the Rose Theatre. Thank you. And we're going to play our video.
Thank you, Blessing. We have a question from Councillor Brar, and I would note that both your councillors are rising stars. I think if you need someone for music or dance that day, you can rope in Councillor Paleshi and Councillor Brar. Over you to Councillor Brar.
No, thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Definitely, yeah, singing would be definitely something, a talent we would be right, and maybe Councillor Paleshi would be the dancing we've seen on the weekend, for sure. So I just want to say thank you, Reverend Blessing, for coming in here, because I know you make a platform for these young youth to make sure that they have, they are able to shine, grow, and actually share their gifts with the community. So thank you for giving them that platform, because if it wasn't for you, where would they go, right? And that's the opportunity that Brampton gives young rising stars to grow out of Brampton. So Councillor Paleshi and I are very happy to have you as our residents, but also making sure that you are always in the community and uplifting others. And just want to mention, you do wear a lot of hats, and you do wear, you do actually write books, you do a lot of sessions, so thank you for doing this at your busy schedule.
Thank you. My video. Our adverts. Now available?
We're seeing if we can get the video.
Brampton's Rising Stars is back. This is season 3. Showcasing different talent in dance, music, instrumentation, spoken word, and many more.
Impression on your face, you were actually just enjoying the song.
Do you have what it takes to be the next rising star in Canada?
And the space you use, the prop, the choreo, everything.
I'm in awe. Awesome.
Then log into www.bramptonrisingstars.ca to register and get the opportunity to showcase your talent. To register, visit www.bramptonrisingstars.ca. Registration closes 24th of May 2026. For sponsorship, please call the following numbers. Brampton's Rising Stars is brought to you by Black Community Canada Television and powered by GWAR Studios. Brampton's Rising Stars. It's time for the stars to rise.
Okay, thank you. We also have an added announcement from Councillor Keenan, the Brampton Summer Artist Market. I believe Michael Vickers is here to share that news.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mayor Brown and members of council. I'm joined by local artist Megan Lim, one of the event planners for this year. On behalf of BAO, Brampton Arts Organization, I'm excited to invite you all to the annual Brampton Summer Artist Market next Sunday, July 19th from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Brampton Library's Springdale branch. Since 2022, BAO has organized summer and winter markets each year, welcoming roughly 1,500 visitors to each one. These markets have become an important opportunity for residents to discover and support local artists, creative entrepreneurs, and organizations while keeping those dollars in our local economy. If each visitor spends roughly $50, and I know many spend much more, some of you have attended and I know invested in lots of local art, that amounts to representing $500,000 directly into the pockets of local Brampton artists and businesses. This year's market is our biggest yet, featuring a record 41 different vendors, the return of our popular youth market, the free family activities, and a lot of live music. A special thank you to local artist Megan, who I mentioned, alongside Bianca Delmar and Carlina Jane, who have brought this edition to life and made it their own, alongside our supporters at the library, Brampton Entrepreneur Centre, and the Cultural Services team. Whether you're looking for original artwork instead of getting a poster from IKEA, or just a fun day out with the family, there's something for everyone. I encourage everyone to come out, support local creativity, and experience the talent our city has to offer. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you there.
And I believe we have Councillor Chor online with a question.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. I just want to thank the Brampton Arts Organization, and similar to Beck's Summer Youth Market, this artist market is fantastic. Some of the most cherished items that I have as a family were, from the Summer Artist Market and from the Winter Artist Market. We have the cutest family portrait drawn by a local artist. And, it's amazing to see all the residents come out and enjoy this. So I encourage everybody, bring some cash, support our local artists, and you will find things that you are going to treasure for the rest of your life. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now before we go to delegations, we're going to take some photos with those that are here today for announcements. If members of council could join me up front. Okay, we are now at the point of delegations, which is 7.1, and I'm informed that delegations 2 and 3 have been removed, and we will have one delegation from Kathleen McDermott, a passionate advocate for better enforced bylaws in Brampton. Thank you for being back at the council chamber.
Good morning, Mayor Brown and members of council today. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak. As one of the delegates who appeared before council on June 17th, I'm here again today to speak on behalf of all 7 of us, as well as the many of the residents we represent. We were all very surprised to see a staff report listed on today's agenda to be presented to council as a response to our delegations. Given that this report is intended to address the concerns raised by the delegates on June 17th, we believe that the delegates should have been given an opportunity to provide input into its development. In doing so, would have helped ensure that our concerns were accurately reflected and, more importantly, meaningfully addressed. Unfortunately, in its current form, all 7 of the delegates have significant concerns with the report's content, as we do not believe it adequately responds to the issues we raised on June 17th. We would also welcome the opportunity to collaborate on the development of the terms of reference for the proposed roundtable as well. Resident and delegate participation in the creation of the terms of reference will help facilitate a very important client perspective, as we are key stakeholders and as frequent users of bylaw services. Collaboration with the residents in its creation will also help ensure that all stakeholders are represented in a meaningful and balanced way. Moving forward, we believe the roundtable is an incredibly positive first step toward improving enforcement services, and we all look forward to working collaboratively with council, with staff, and all stakeholders on this extremely important initiative. Please do not hesitate to reach out to any of the June 17th delegates if additional discussion or resident input would be helpful at any time. We're always very willing to contribute our time and our experience to help identify practical improvements in this process. The 7 delegates, together with the many residents we represent across Brampton, remain very committed to working together, working constructively with council and all of staff to improve the effectiveness of enforcement and bylaw services. Our intention and shared objective is and always has been to improve the quality of life of Brampton residents. So thank you for your time in this matter.
Okay, we have Councillor Keenan on the board and Councillor Medeiros.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Kathleen, for coming in to delegate yet again. So I do agree, and I'll ask if council will indulge just to bring forward report 10.2.2 at the same time, so I can just address your delegation with that report. So I think it's very important. I think that all the delegates that came in on the 17th definitely is what started this roundtable. So I would love to give those delegates the opportunity to be part of how it comes. But I also want to take a second to thank staff for how quick you brought something back, because we know that we really want to get moving on this so that we can actually have tangible changes being made. I would like to defer this delegation and that report back to staff to have a little bit of communication with the 7 delegates that came in, just either be it understanding of how we're going to do things or have their input into how things can be done. So if I could do that at this time, Mr. Mayor, I would appreciate it. Oh, after our speakers, I guess.
After Councillor Medeiros and Councillor Santos. Yeah. Councillor Medeiros.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Councillor Keenan. I think, thank you, Kathleen. I think those were very thoughtful comments. And, you know, one thing sometimes we lose perspective when we write some of these is that not getting that sort of feedback from the community, which is intended to enhance. So I support the referral back to staff, and maybe as part of staff's consideration, if we can do maybe an engagement of some sort, consultation, you know, get everyone in the room and get that feedback and ensure that we're getting something that's reflected in the community. So thank you very much for coming forward.
Thank you.
Councillor Santos.
Thank you through you, Mr. Chair, and I'd be happy as another area councillor who has similar issues that were brought up by the delegations to second the referral if you need that. But I always believe that when there is a problem, a major challenge like this, that we continue to over and over again improve and enhance. And again, also thank you to the staff for bringing it forward quickly, that it only improves when we engage residents who have been so engaged in the process. Whether that's, testing out the new 311 update and refresh that we're doing before we launch it, or doing things like this, particularly when it comes to the RRL program and improving bylaw enforcement. This type of input is super important. So thank you for speaking up about that. And I know that at the end of this process, it's probably going to be even better.
Thank you. We actually work very closely with the 311 team, and they've been absolutely fantastic with helping us improve and take our comments and do excellent communication and follow up with us. So I know it's possible.
Okay, I know Councillor Keen's about to refer this back, just to say, hopefully in this report, we can lean into some of the punitive abilities we have. I find when we have negligent landlords, one of the ways we force compliance is when it becomes increasingly punitive for them to ignore the city. The lien on properties, the putting the additional fines on property taxes, those are tools that I find to be particularly efficient for the negligent landlords. And I know that there is a lot of concern about some particular negligent landlords, and so how we can deal with them collectively within the tools we have as a city. Councillor Keenan, if you want to move the referral. Oh, sorry, we didn't have counts. But now we have Councillor Pleshy and Deputy Mayor Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to staff on the referral, and happy to support it, but in the report, it does talk about the pilot that we were implementing, and I don't want that being pushed out at all. Can I have some kind of confidence that the pilot will be happening and the enforcement that's currently taking place, but we're looking at making any of those changes that need to be changed?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So as far as the roundtable, we have time to consult with the citizens through the summer. So we'll make sure that that is completed. The other items in the report were summary items that will also be reflected in the September update report.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that answers my question. Sorry. The pilot that we were implementing for certain areas in Brampton, in the report, it does touch that the enforcement pilot and the enforcement of bylaw services was part of that roundtable. But I want that work to at least begin prior to, and essentially we'll get some direction from the roundtable, but I want that pilot at least to be implemented.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Pleshy, you're speaking of the focused ward specific. Yeah. That pilot's already started, so.
Oh, perfect.
We're good on that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Deputy Mayor Singh.
Thank you, and thank you to coming to delegate for the roundtable. Hope encompasses all wards, because we have similar issues in wards 9 and 10 as well, and I hope to have a few residents on that roundtable. My thought process with the roundtable is, finish off the term with the roundtable, but I'd like to see a committee being formed, a citizen committee, and maybe that's something the roundtable can morph into eventually. And I'm not going to put a motion or nothing, but that's sort of the direction. And if you're okay with that, maybe your thoughts, but I'd like to see it continue next term for 4 years. And that's a good avenue to sort of air out the grievances and see where we can move forward. Just wanted your thoughts, what you thought about that.
If it doesn't happen by this council term, I will definitely be back to delegate again to make sure that it does happen. So yes, I mean, I understand it's at the start, it's not the finish. So we're beginning to work collaboratively, I think, and have bi-directional communication. That's what we're looking for as a result. So whether you call it a roundtable, a task force, or a committee, we just want to have all wards represented, because I think all wards have the same pain points. So thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Keenan, you want to move the referral now? Sure.
I'd like to move that referral, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Back to staff.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Seconded by Councillor Deputy Mayor Singh. This takes us to, I believe, 10.21. And this was held by the Deputy Mayor, or is it Councillor Palacio? Deputy Mayor. Proposed open house sign bylaw.
I'm looking for my colleague because I had talked to him. I think just, listen, thank you to staff for everything. It's okay. Thank you to staff for everything. You've worked hard, you've done consultations on this, and we're appreciative. I think we're almost there, but I'm just gonna send it back for further consultations, because we heard some things last minute that I thought were fair points. And we just wanna get it right, because once we implement this, then, we don't wanna create bylaws where we're going back and revising. We've seen that happen a few times, so I will move, if Councillor Palacio is okay with that, to just refer it back to staff for further consultation, another roundtable, just to get it right, and then we can adopt it at that point. Thank you.
Would this be for our August meeting?
I don't think I want to put a date, because we'll keep up to date with them. Yeah.
Okay, Councillor Palacio?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And this all started from agents requests, we're talking about the real estate agent, right? All started with agents coming and asking us for something. Now we're hearing from other agents saying, well, why are you attacking us, and why are you on? We're not attacking or on anybody. We all want to get this right and do what's right. We have a ton of real estate agents that grab sponsorship ads through, transit, where else through the city of Brampton. So it has to be a level playing field. And I think that's essentially what we want to do. And most importantly, declutter some of the intersections that are inundated with open house signs or any kind of signs. So we need some law and order in that field, but I'm happy to have this go back and have those discussions with some of the people, make sure that they're doing things right. Not only that, but there's a lot of good real estate agents in Brampton that educate new homeowners about, what they need to look out for and what they need to make sure that they have when they're purchasing a house. But there are some that don't do that. And whether it's they need to be educated, educate the educator, I want that to be a part of it as well. I want real estate agents to ensure that, when they're selling a home in Brampton, that they're educating their clients on what, the roles and rules and responsibilities are of home ownership in the city of Brampton. And I think that's important. I think it better, it puts them a little bit forward in terms of becoming a better agent. And if we can provide that ability, then I'm happy to help and support. So I think that referral going back to staff, and then us coming up with some kind of strategy on how we get everybody together. If it's multiple discussions, then we're happy to facilitate that. But in terms of a timeline right now, I'll confer to have a discussion with Deputy Mayor, and we'll have a chat and see what else we can do, what we can get out there in a timely phase.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favor of the referral? Motion carries. This takes us to our next item that was held. (10.4.2) window wells and path of travel for additional residential units. Deputy Mayor.
So I've had a lot of education around window wells and learning window wells and learning about the impacts. I know it's a part of the official plan. No, it's not a part of the window wells. I thought yeah.
Through you, Mayor Brown, through the Deputy Mayor, it's included in our comprehensive zoning bylaw.
Sorry, comprehensive zoning bylaw. I would like us to take our time on this and also refer this back to staff. We have industry partners here, and I know residents have their side. And I think we just have to learn the implications of this. And our goal is always to bring people into compliance and safety and balancing that with affordability. And it gets really tricky because nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Everybody has their side in this. But I feel, need to do a little bit more consultation on this. and just bring everybody to the table and find a way forward that works for everyone. So I would just propose we refer it back to staff, work on it, and come forward where we get a unanimous vote. That's what I would like to see. Thank you.
Councillor Keenan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So for me, that's a bit of a tough to refer, just based on my conversations with staff, knowing, that we talk around the safety aspect of it. But I do understand concerns when it comes to design. Since our last council meeting, I've had a couple conversations with designers to see if things can be designed differently, which I was told they can be, in a case-by-case situation. So my question maybe to you, Deputy Mayor, is when do you want to see this come back, and what is it you're looking to still accomplish, if you don't mind?
For example, we have the Ontario Contractors Association. I like to see them consulted from the contracting side because they're doing this day in, day out. So what are those alternatives? What do they look like? Are they feasible? I like to see residents also consulted on this. I know informally we consult residents, but I think it'd be nice to have a comprehensive sort of citywide roundtable on this, where we get people from wards 9 and 10, people from the downtown core to bring over policy, and maybe there's different policies in different areas. That's also something I'm open to. But I think the flexibility and just a slow and steady approach would be wiser on this, because it's creating a lot of anxiety in the community, and I'm getting a lot of calls on this, and I'm trying to clarify, but it'd be better if staff was running like open house and clarifying as staff rather than us doing it, because I'm not a technical guy. I don't know the building code like the back of my hand, but staff are experts in the building code, and they can answer these questions in a way that gives, I think, residents much more confidence.
Yeah, so I do know that a lot of consultation on this was done through the comprehensive bylaw. So like all of these consultations and things already happened for that side of it, which has taken quite a significant amount of time. And when we look at staff bringing this to us to implement now, kind of shows that there's some urgency to have it from a safety perspective for the city. So from a deferral to do a little bit more on it, yes, but I would need, like, for me to support something like this, I would need a time frame. Are we talking a month? Are we talking at the end of the summer? If I can put some kind of time frame towards the consultation you like to do, then I would be happy to support that. If there's no time frame to it, then I don't think I could support it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Tour.
Thank you, through you, Mayor Brown. I actually agree with both Councillor Keenan, what he's saying, and what Deputy Mayor saying is talking about as well. First of all, kudos to staff. I know they've brought additional information back in a very short amount of time. It is very impressive. You've brought mock designs and in different concepts on how this could work in different scenarios based on the delegation and the comments that we had seen. It's a very thorough report, a very thorough exercise through the comprehensive zoning bylaw. But I do have to agree with Deputy Mayor saying the other side of this is the more public-facing side of it, the more practical implementation on the ground side of it, and that's where I think we would benefit from more consultation on, whether it is contractors that are fighting to make sure that all contractors are doing work safely, because there's contractors out there that are doing illegal work, doing works without permits, that are undercutting contractors that are trying to do it the right way. And so these contractors have the interest in making sure that, one, they understand the full impact of this, how this will improve housing and safety in housing. They want to be part of that conversation. I think that's on the ground side of things. And it works best when we're implementing, let's say, a new approach and we have the buy-in from the industry. Then it makes it smoother for residents to understand this. So again, a lot of our residents don't meet our comprehensive zoning bylaw. They're not going through this exercise, but they will trust a trusted source like the contractors that are actually going to do this work, that are going to go out and get permits on what it means on adding an additional unit or bringing their existing units into compliance, how that would affect them, what that looks like. I think that would be meaningful. I also know that from our ward peering meeting that we had with staff, we got a lot of questions answered, and we were very grateful for that. Some of the questions still are unanswered, and again, that's not fault of our staff, it's just they haven't been able to get a hold of other municipalities. For example, in the City of Toronto example that has been, talked about many times, we haven't actually gotten, like, we've made attempts, staff has made multiple attempts to talk to City of Toronto staff and understand what their debate looked like and how did they come to the conclusion of allowing, let's say, grates on window walls. What was the pros and cons? What did their emergency services think about it? How did that make any change? Like, what was their rationale for that decision making? I feel like other municipalities are doing it, learning from mistakes, and then, revising it and implementing. I think it's best we learn from their mistakes, find out what they would have done differently. Maybe City of Toronto, if they could go back in time, wouldn't do the grates anymore. But let's find out, like, I think we need to do a little bit of that fact finding on what that discussion, what that debate happened around these, what kind of solutions they came up with, what was the alternates, how did their council decide to come to that conclusion. I don't know if they had unanimous or what kind of support they had for that. What was the buy-in, again, from our emergency services? What was the buy-in from the industry itself? I think we need to tie all those little loose ends a little bit together so that when we make a decision, again, I'd love it to be a unanimous decision on this, like, again, not being the experts and just, debating on, like, this point could, negatively impact people or not. Let's get all of that out of the way, and then perhaps everybody has a better understanding. I have a better understanding than I did 2 weeks ago, and I would love to have, even more improved understanding on this. And I think the more facts we can get together, staff are doing an incredible effort, but I think we still get some of those answers. It would really help everybody. But again, kudos to staff. A quick turnaround on this report, very thorough report. So thank you all the team that's worked on this.
Councillor Santos.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. So, similar to Councillor Keane, I would support a referral back, but with timing. And part of the reason why is because I see a lot of homes, particularly in wards 1 and 5, up for sale. And my concern is if we are going to be looking at changes to window wells and path of travel for ARUs, many of these homes that are up for sale will be sold and then be flipped over. And so I think time is of the essence here, in particular as it relates to safety as well. So just a question to staff. How soon do you think we could get something back that includes some of the feedback from members of council?
Through you, Mayor Brown, through to Councillor Santos, certainly, staff would work as expeditiously as council desires, and just a quick chat with the chief building official and the Commissioner of Community Services who oversees fire. We could probably bring something back within 30 to 60 days if that was the will of council.
So possibly September? Okay, so I would be okay with that, but I would not push it any further than that, because I do worry that people are going to start doing things with the houses that they're flipping that eventually they're going to have to change again. And so I think time is of the essence on this one.
Councillor Keenan.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. So I agree with the September timeline. I've talked with my colleagues in 9 and 10 that September would work for us. So if we can just have that date added, we'd be happy to support the referral.
Okay, and just to add in, I believe we could include information on comparative jurisdictions for this as well.
Through you, Mayor Brown, the report does have that, but we can certainly elaborate on that. And maybe if I could suggest, prior to bringing back the report and prior to initiating the consultation, staff will put together a list of stakeholders we think ought to be consulted and run that by each of the ward councillors just to make sure we hadn't missed anybody, and then that would make sure everyone's covered.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Singh, seconded by Councillor Keenan. All those in favor? Motion carries. To the clerk, our next item that was held is... Oh, yes, Deputy Mayor Singh.
Thank you, and kudos. I think there's a congratulations in order. I know Councillor Santos worked through FCM to bring money to the city. sometimes we talk about being part of organizations like FCM and AMO, and this is one of the examples of what we get with that. And thank you to all your hard work for helping with their development charges. Wards 9 and 10 thanks you, and so do all the other councilors. But thank you for doing this. It's going to help us, where you're going to see a motion come from us as well. But we acknowledge it's all because of your efforts. So thank you for everything. Credit where credit is due.
Councillor Santos, you're next, and like the Deputy Mayor said, there is a benefit to having Brampton councillors on bodies like FCM or AMO, and I know you have been on for a number of terms now. I think you got re-elected with the highest margin at FCM, and this FCM Green Fund is very useful for community centers, and so the low-interest loan, the grant portion, opens up development charge space for the entire city. So excellent work, and I should also say, I don't think we have yet, a happy birthday as well.
Oh, goodness. Please.
Councillor Santos.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very proud to be on the board of FCM for now 7 or 8 terms. And the organization does incredible work for municipalities across the entire country. Advocacy, you name it. But the Green Municipal Fund is very special. And I'll say that being a board member of FCM representing the city of Brampton, we have been put on, the stage. We have been seen as trailblazers and incredibly vocal on the FCM table. And because of that, obviously things like the Green Municipal Fund, who has given money to the city of Brampton on multiple occasions, and low-cost loans to the city of Brampton for major projects, they remember who we are. And like the mayor said, that's why it's so important for representatives to be at FCM from Brampton, as well as AMO. Councilor Vicente sits at AMO as well. And it's definitely worthwhile because many cities around the country, including the executive board at FCM, see Brampton in an incredibly positive light. And so thank you very much. And looking forward to this because it's coming to Century Gardens in our youth hub.
Councillor Tour.
Thank you, through you, Mayor Brown. Again, kudos to everyone that's worked on this. This is great to see. And when I was trying to add an additional added item, it was another motion that is actually going to use some of that revenue from the return of funds that we're getting to development charges. So along with this motion, if I could bring forward that motion as well, Madam Clerk, the motion that was regarding the traffic intersections. I know there are some in wards 2 and 6 as well, and maybe Councilor Pelletier, I see him on the board, he'll comment on those, but we'd be, I bring that one forward.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Councillor Santos and Councillor Vicente to move the Century Gardens one. All those in favor? Motion carries. And Councillor Tour and Councillor Pelletier, if you could put your motion on the screen. Councillor Pelletier.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Tour and the Deputy Mayor. In looking at the motion, I'm just briefly, it had changed a little bit. So the Claremont Drive, so Kennedy Road and Arctic Turn Avenue, if we can remove that from the motion, if it can just state simply that the one, that the monies that have already been paid by the developer for a full moves intersection or for a signalization of intersection, which I've confirmed with them that they, about 5 years ago, they put money towards the signalization of one of these intersections. It originally was planned for Arctic Turn, but in discussion with the Stonegate community and the newer Franchini property community, they're thinking that they would rather have signalization closer to further north. And I know that is a little may be a problem for us and staff because it'll be a little bit closer to Mayfield, but something that I think we could figure out. So ultimately, I'd like this change, deleted Arctic Turn Avenue, and just that a signalized intersection be installed in proximity to Mayfield Road on Kennedy Road. I think that covers it. And then work with the area councilors and the residents to confirm where that's going to be. Because I think some work does happen.
In the proximity of Mayfield and Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah. On Kennedy, in the proximity of Mayfield and Kennedy.
In the proximity of Mayfield and Kennedy, okay. The clerk is noting that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Tour.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. I think that's a good amendment there, but just thank you again to staff. These intersections have been a priority. There's been a lot of incidents that unfortunately have happened this summer already on Countryside Drive, and these are already approved intersections. So I'm glad to see that some of those return funds will now actually go into implementation, and I hope that this means that we can expedite as quickly as possible the actual construction of these intersections would be very helpful. But thank you.
Deputy Mayor Singh.
Sorry, I just want to give a quick shout out for the last minute work by Shane and the budget office. Thank you so much.
Budget office?
Yeah, they helped draft.
I don't know where Claremont is.
No.
No, Claremont's theirs. Yeah, it's just from, yeah.
Yeah, it's good on
Straight on the road and over Swimming Mayfield. Perfect.
And Mark, you just stepped out of the room, but the deputy mayor gave you a shout out, thanking you for your assistance. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to our next item. Okay, Councillor Pleshy, you held this one.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So it's come to our attention that, somebody is really trying to do something good in the community and bringing music into the community for, for kids that normally wouldn't get an opportunity to play instruments. Unfortunately, this gentleman's story is remarkable, but unfortunately he can't pay the DC charges. They're just too much. And I think what we ultimately would like to accomplish is asking staff to go back and look at another opportunity for, this to be deferred out till whenever, or another opportunity for us to look at a reduction in the DCs. And if that is by any chance, because this is, a little bit of employment, a little bit of recreation. I know they've been further reduced because of a calculation error on our part, but I think now that, it's before us, this work needs to be done. We really want to help support, this new business. And if there's a referral that I'd like to put on the floor, asking staff to work with an opportunity to defer payments to X number of years. I'd appreciate that, Jason.
Through the chair, we can certainly meet with the group. I think it'd be helpful to just some additional clarity, whether they're nonprofit or not. I see differing information, so once we meet with them, we can get some additional detail, because that could have an implication.
Sure.
And we can report back on the outcomes.
Okay, thanks, Jason.
Yeah, thanks.
So maybe Jason, you can clarify, or legal. I was informed in the agenda briefing that they declined the deferral. Has that a deferral agreement, was that not offered already? Yeah, please. Please, if Councillor Pleshy is asking for that report and they've already declined it. Okay.
Yeah, we sorry, through the chair, we did reach out to Zumar, and we offered them that we get into a deferral agreement, and they were not interested in that, Councillor.
Nice to hear this for the very first time.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try.
Maybe we can
Just on that, I interpreted your comments as a deferral of this matter, not a deferral of DCs. Like a deferral of this matter for us to look into the charitable status, not a deferral of the
We're
DCs.
gonna look at everything. We're
Yeah,
gonna all
sure
group,
enough.
we're gonna get together and have a discussion and not
Absolutely.
have a discussion, you know, behind closed doors or anything like that, and actually include the area councilors in having a discussion on what we can do to this fantastic organization. That's gonna be my deferral. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Councillor Brar.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair, and just want to say thank you to Corey for coming out, but also we had the privilege of attending their performances where young youth had the opportunity to perform, sing, dance, play the piano, but these are the things that we promote in the city of Brampton, making sure that our youth have that platform. So again, thank you to staff for all the work that you do, but just we need to work with staff to make sure that we can achieve the goals for our residents of Brampton. Thank you.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Pelletier, second by Councillor Brar. Is that okay? All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to our next item. Okay. Is it on the? Councillor Pelletier, you'd like to speak to this?
Yeah, super happy with staff working on this and providing those revisions to the motion. Happy to move this forward. And thanks to staff for working on this and changing some of the verbiage. I think this goes a long way, and a lot of other municipalities right across Ontario are doing this. So thank you to staff as well. Thanks, Jason.
Okay. All those in favor? Motion carries. Okay, so we have 16.2, I believe. Oh, referred matters list. Any questions for referred matters list? Seeing none, we'll go to 16.2, and this is from Councillor Brar.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. So Mount Pleasant is one of our gems in Wards 2 and 6, and it's such a nice place where you can, it's a walkable area. However, I know Councillor Pelletier has mentioned this a couple times too, but there are ongoing issues at Mount Pleasant area where residents who are using the GO station are parking in areas that are designated for the patrons of the shops that are around Mount Pleasant Library, specifically on Commuter Drive and Bleasdale Avenue. And these people who are parked are in excessive of 3 hours in parking spots that are directly beside the shops, causing potential customers to have to find parking on inner streets. And some of the customers probably, just like I know I have done this, where I would just drive by because I can't find the spot that I am able to find. So it's really causing potential customers to find other areas to go to. So store owners are very frustrated and have raised concerns about the profit, customer loss due to the lack of availability of parking. And I know Councillor Pelletier and I have been on site for a couple of times, and we spoke to both store owners, residents who were frustrated with the cars that are parked up to 8 hours a day in these spots. And even though there's ample parking at the GO station, there is an overflow law at Salvation Drive that is not far from the shops of the Commuter Drive as well. And I do know staff have been working with us. I've done a great job. They've done a survey done previously. However, now there's new store owners, and many of them have been reaching out to both of our offices regarding the parking situation at Mount Pleasant. They are putting together a petition to the city to enact parking restrictions that will deter Mount Pleasant to GO station patrons from parking in the front of the shops and by the library. And we do support our businesses, and we want them to thrive. So I was wondering if we can direct staff to once again to do the survey and connect with the Mount Pleasant business owners and determine what parking regulations, restrictions can be put in place for this unique situation where GO station users are parking outside of the designated area. And I do know a lot of the store owners have brought ideas of maybe 1 hour parking or 2 hour parking restrictions just for those residents using the store owner shop. So just referring it back to staff, seeing if we can work with the store owners to find a better solution, because I know this problem has been going on for a very long time now.
Okay, we have the motion moved by Councillor Brar, seconded by Councillor Palashi. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to our next item, which is 16.3, Councillor Vasante.
Thank you very much, Mayor Brown. I believe the clerk has a motion that I would like to request that we put up on the screen. It is requesting that staff implement a four-way stop at the intersection of Flowertown and Chatsworth Drive, Hadrina Street. Asking members of council to support, and Councillor Santos will second. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to our next item, which is item 16.4, Councillor Santos.
Was added, thank you. I wasn't sure, because I was late, so somebody added it. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Singh. One of the issues, one of the things that I've been noticing across the city is in many of our catwalks, I know some of them are maintained by Public Works and some of them are maintained by parks. Many of them have gone quite shoddy, and a lot of overgrown and encroachment into the catwalks, some safety concerns where residents no longer feel safe traveling through them because of too much encroachment from brush and from bushes and trees. So I was wondering whether or not in this season and moving forward, we could put some focus on maintaining and cleaning up our catwalks so that people can actually use them safely and be encouraged to walk to different locations across the city versus driving or elsewhere.
Through the mayor, I can take that in consultation with the Commissioner of Public Works. We work together on maintaining these different catwalks. We'll work together. We'll do an audit. We'll actually reach out to the councillor offices too. If you have any ones that are a priority, we'll look at the current service requests and we'll put a focus on it over the next 30 to 60 days to clean them up.
Okay, that would be amazing. So would that require a motion or is that good enough direction?
Through the mayor to Councillor Santos, we can take that as direction. That's part of our regular ongoing maintenance, so we'll just make sure it's a priority.
Okay, perfect. So if we could put in some focus, then that would be awesome. And then I'll loop back in with Community Services and Public Works on the status of our catwalks. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Our next item is public question period. Are there any questions? Sorry? Oh, Councillor Fertini.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Councillor Santos. Just to Public Works, a lot of times I've mentioned on these catwalks, we're doing the roads, and you got these catwalks. Where were you doing the asphalt? And I feel, well, this is part of parks, that's part of roads. It's the same. But when we're there, the equipment's there, Bobcat's there, spreader's there. Why don't we look at these things and fix them? A lot of times I keep saying that. And a lot of them, you can't even clean the snow. That's how bad they are. So when we're actually doing the roads, if we see there's a catwalk, let's add it to the contract. Thank you.
Thank you. So public question period. Are there any questions here in the audience or online? Don't see any. Okay. This takes us to bylaws. I have a motion moved by Councillor Palashi, seconded by Councillor Brar to approve the bylaws 119-2026 to 132-2026 inclusive. All those in favor? Motion carries. We do have some in-camera business, and that is item 19.4, 19.6. And we will return in public session to report out any outcomes. So in 15 minutes, we can meet in the in-camera room. And I would just note, sorry? A motion to go into close, moved by Councillor Basante, second by Councillor Keenan. All those in favor? Motion carries. And just one other announcement I forgot to mention. Just want to say it's wonderful news to see Daniel Alfredson now join the Maple Leafs staff. Nice to see him join Canada's team. Thank you. Okay. In the continuing interest of transparency and open government, I will report in public session any outcomes from today's closed session business. As a result of our closed session today, I wish to report the following. The clerk will put on the screen 19.1, the item was deferred under approval of the agenda. 19.2, the item was approved under consent and not discussed. 19.3, the item was approved under consent and not discussed in closed session. 19.4, the item was considered in closed session and direction was given. 19.5, the item was approved on consent, was not discussed in closed session. The directions therein are approved, including the following motion arising to be considered in open session. We're still, motion. Okay, this one is moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Tour. All those in favor, motion carries for 19.5. 19.6, the item was considered in closed session and no direction was given. So the question, the motion that we passed in closed session.
That was for the 19.3.
Wasn't there a motion for both?
Direction was given.
No, just one. So 19.4, okay. But we don't need to do that motion in public session. Okay, okay, understood. Okay, confirming bylaw, I have a motion from Councillor Pleshy, seconded by Councillor Berard, to approve the confirming bylaw, to confirm the proceedings and decisions from this meeting. All those in favor? Motion carries. Our next, last item of business is adjournment. Council is next scheduled to meet tentatively on Wednesday, August 12th, and the next confirmed meeting date is Wednesday, September 9th. I think it's likely we'll have the August meeting based on some of the items that are coming up, but we'll play that by ear. I have a motion moved by Councillor Tour and seconded by Councillor Medeiros to adjourn today's meeting. All those in favor? Motion carries.